Hey guys, welcome to Technibility, your source for no-nonsense tech. My name is Berj, and we get the Apple iPhone 6s, which we're going to review right now. We're going to get straight to the point here and review the 6s because that's what you guys want to see. You guys don't want to hear me talk too much, but I am going to introduce myself. I'm Berj of Technibility. Again, your source for no-nonsense tech. If you haven't, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and if you want, you can check out our 6s Plus review. I'll leave the link in the description below. All right, you can see here we have the iPhone 6s. This is the 128 gigabyte model. All right, you can see the box, iPhone 6s. It's already been unwrapped, but we are going to unbox it. Believe it or not, this is the first time we are opening this device. Again, you can see the box, very minimal, very simplistic. All right, let's go ahead and just pull up the phone here and look inside the box. And you have the headphones, you have the wall port, and you have the lightning cable. All right, so that's pretty much it. And the manual and all that stuff is right there. Okay, so we're going to move that aside now, and we're going to get to what you guys want to see, which is the actual phone. So let's go and turn it on for the first time. You can see. All right, so here's the iPhone 6s in all of its glory. This is the 128 space gray model. They also have the iPhone 6s in rose gold, as well as white/silver, because obviously it's more of a silverish color. All right, you can see on the bottom you have the speaker grill, the lightning port, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, volume rockers on this side with the vibrate. Nothing up top. You have the power button SIM card tray on the side. On the front, of course, you have the Retina display rendering 326 pixels per inch. No, this is not a 1080p display. However, the 6S Plus is. We'll get into that later. If you want to watch the individual review, you can check that out for the 6S Plus. Of course, you have the Touch ID sensor. What's now a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. Phenomenal. I'm very happy about that, and I'll show you why in a moment. Rear camera, which is 12 megapixel. You have the iPhone S logo on the bottom. Again, very thin device, 7.3 millimeters, slightly thicker than last year's, 7.1 millimeters, slightly thicker than last year's 6.9. And the reason why is because obviously a lot of people were having issues with bend gate and the screen popping out as well. So what they did was they made it slightly thicker to avoid that from occurring. All right, so here you see the device in all of its glory. A9 processor, 2 gigs of RAM, finally, right? 2 gigs of RAM. A lot of Android users will know what I'm referring to when I say that. You got the 16, 64, and 128 gigabyte variants. Just a phenomenally fast phone, the iPhone 6s. So we're going to go ahead and remove this sticker right here. I know how much a lot of you guys like that. Okay, put that aside. Again, you can see the screen. Absolutely beautiful viewing angles, great indirect sunlight, in other words, a great Lux rating. And just a gorgeous device. Feels good in the hand. Now I'm going to go ahead and just put it next to the iPhone 6s Plus here to show you guys the size difference. So you can see the size difference. 6s Plus is also slightly thicker, 7.3 versus 7.1. But it's definitely a bigger phone, whereas this has a 4.7-inch display. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here with the software. So what are the new features with the 6s Plus? Well, you have live photos in the gallery, upgraded Siri, upgraded camera, which we'll get into, but what everyone's talking about is 3D touch. Now you guys can see how this works right here. If I was to put pressure on an icon, for example, it gives me these shortcuts. So I just push the camera, it says take selfie, record video, slow-mo, take photo. So if I was to click on take photo, voila, it takes me into the photo gallery. All right, we'll get into the camera in a moment. Okay, you can see live photos, and I'll show you what that means. All right, and also as well with the gallery, if I put pressure on it, you could see most recent favorite search, messages as well. It'll show you recent messages, search messages, contacts that you consistently contact, etc., as well as mail, Safari. So it works across the board, and third-party developers are going to develop for this system to make their apps basically work with this. And there's a lot of ways that it can be useful for a lot of various users. And a lot of people might be saying, well, I don't see the use in that, or it's already been done. Actually, believe it or not, it hasn't. Yes, Samsung has something similar with the implementation of the S Pen pressure feature as well as the touch pressure feature, but this is a little bit different in that third-party developers could develop for it, and it works across the board. You could see with notes, with reminders, with wallet, I believe. Not with wallet. Settings, no. So, with updates, Apple will update this feature as well. Again, the screen is pressure sensitive. That means the LCD is also different now, so the part is likely going to be a lot more expensive. All right, let's go ahead and look at another. Let's look at another way that the 3D touch is utilized here. So if I also go into gallery, live photos, you can see how that works. So if I long press on it, it almost gives me like a little short sketch of the photo that I took. And you can share it from that. You can share it. If I was to just swipe up, you can copy it, favorite, delete. So you can see how that works. This also works with video. So if you were to shoot a video and you do that long pressing thing, you get the a little short clip of that specific video. And of course, you could share the image here. You can edit it with the editing option. They have a ton of different editing options here. Of course, the gallery in itself you could set up in any way you'd like, shared pictures, albums, etc. So a lot changed. Minimal. Is it minimal? It's probably a little bit more than minimal. I mean, it's more than you would normally get with an S iteration. For example, the iPhone 5 to the 5S really didn't have that many different features except for maybe the Touch ID sensor and an improved camera, whereas with this, it really is a whole new system. So the 6 and the regular 6 and 6 Plus aren't going to utilize this 3D touch. So just for this feature alone, for a lot of users and consumers, it might be worth the upgrade. Of course, you have Spotlight here, and of course the Search and Spotlight on the left as well, which they've brought back. And you can see all the various apps that you get with the 64 and 128 gigabyte models. You get Numbers, Pages, Keynote, GarageBand, iMovie. So that's only exclusive to the 64 and 128 gigabyte models. Everything is just super blazing fast in terms of speed, in terms of processing applications, in terms of just opening and closing that applications. You can see opening out of Photos, out of the camera, out of the App Store, and then you can of course multitask and swipe out of everything, close out of all these apps, boom, 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 you're done. So very quick control center right here. Very quick, very fast, very fluid. No complaints in terms of speed. Now, one area where I think Apple could have improved is I think they could have given users more of an ability to customize the control center. I think that's an issue that I've had ever since they released the control center with iOS 7. Is that, we should be able to customize these toggles, but with some jailbreak, I've heard it's possible. So who knows, maybe in the future they'll implement it. All right, so you guys see how 3D touch works. Very simple, very intuitive, a feature that I like. So let's go ahead and look at the camera now. And you can see in terms of camera quality, absolutely phenomenal with this 12 megapixel camera. Also, you have 4K video recording now. You can see square panorama, all the different options. Of course, you have filters as well. So we'll go ahead and post a separate video showcasing video quality as well as picture quality. You can see the front-facing 5 megapixel camera definitely improved in this regard as well. Super fast to take pictures. So the camera is definitely improved, guys. You have to take my word for that. I'm not going to do too much of a detail in-depth here on the camera, but just in terms of photo quality, it's brilliant. Sheer brilliance on the part of Apple. Have to give them credit here. Definitely competes with any high-end camera phone on the market today, if not bests them or beats them. You can see with the flash how bright it is. Just the color saturation, the contrast, everything pops out at you. It's absolutely phenomenal what they've done with this camera. And of course, that's what you were to expect with an iPhone camera, right? I mean, every year, it just seems to get better and better and better. All right, let's go ahead and look at all of their iPhone apps, clock, maps, etc., weather. All right, so we'll just open and close out of these real quick just to show you guys what they look like and how fast they are to open and close. Just super fast, super intuitive. This is what iOS is all about. They don't really, it's the bells and whistles, right? I mean, that's what you get with a lot of other OSs and mobile platforms that you don't get here with the iPhone. Very simplistic and easy to use. So any user can pick one up and pretty much figure it out right away. So again, just in terms of overall features, really the new features that they've added are 3D touch, which I'm having a lot of fun with, guys. I've been playing with it for a while now, or at least as long as I've had the phone today, as well as the live photos and the upgraded camera. There's other minor differences as well. The device in itself feels good in the hand. It's got a sturdy feel. Of course, you're probably going to want to get a case for it because you don't want to carry around the $800,000-$900,000 device unprotected. Just even a minor scratch would get on my nerves. So in that regard, you may want to get yourself a case. And again, just in comparison to the 6S Plus, because we're not going to do a separate video this year comparing them, just really isn't much of a point. You can see the difference. Again, larger screen, 5.5 versus 4.7. Of course, on the 6S Plus, you have the ability to auto-rotate the screen. So you can use it like an iPad, basically, which you don't have on the 6. Both of them have the ability to double tap on the home button and make it easier to access menus up top if you have small hands or you can't reach all the way up top with one hand. So that's always been there. It's been there since the 6 and the 6 Plus. So again, in relation to the 6S Plus, it's not much of a difference, guys. I mean, really it's just about size, screen quality, 1080p, of course, because it's a bigger device, versus the Retina display, 326 pixels, 401 pixels. Camera quality is pretty much identical. Speed is pretty much identical. So not much of a difference there. So I really don't see the point in doing a separate comparison between these two monsters. So here it is, guys, Apple's latest flagship device, the iPhone 6s. It's a device that I think is worthy of an upgrade if you're coming from a 5S. Is it worthy of an upgrade from the iPhone 6? I don't think so. I mean, it has some really cool features, some niches that people might like, you know, some bells and whistles here with the 3D touch, of course, upgraded camera, but does that mean that the camera on the iPhone 6 isn't good enough? I think it is. And I think for those of you who have the iPhone 6, you're better off just waiting for the iPhone 7. If you really are into the latest and greatest, then yeah, I would probably say the 6S might be the best phone for you. And of course, maybe if you're coming from an Android device as well, that might be the case. So again, I'm not going to go through the entirety of the software. I just wanted to show you guys the new features, some of the new features, the design of the phone, how it looks, how it feels, and I will do a follow-up video showcasing battery life and all that good stuff as well. So stay tuned for that, guys. Also stay tuned for comparisons between the Galaxy S6, S6 Edge, Note 5, and a flurry of other devices that we're going to compare this device as well as the 6S Plus to. And again, if you guys have any mobile repair, cell phone repair issues, I repair all phones. Go ahead and contact me. I'll leave the contact in the description below. I also want to thank my friend Shahey for supporting us with this iPhone 6S. All right, if you guys have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comment section below. All right, my name is Berj. You guys have watched Technibility, your source for no-nonsense tech. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.